I was walking in the market and I noticed there is this UNICEF stand that had a photo, a big it's called what? Flyer. We can call it flyer of an African woman and a child. So one of the ladies approached me, and of course I was feeling like I'm breathing faster, because these things upset me so much. They enraged me so much. She was telling me, we are raising money for malnutrition. I asked her for where. She said for Africa. I asked her where specifically. She was not really clear. I asked her, this photo that you have up there, do you know which country that is? She said, no, she doesn't know. I asked her, so have you been to Africa? She said, no. So you don't know about the malnutrition. I have a colleague who is, I don't know what this. I said, no. You have a photo there to represent a country where you are raising money for malnutrition. A photo of an African woman and a child. And she said, this is what is happening in Africa. I said, but you haven't been to Africa. How do you know there's malnutrition? I said to her, I think this is a very harmful narrative that you are participating in, giving the narrative that there is malnutrition in Africa. And personally, as someone who comes from Africa and I've traveled in Africa, it's a very erroneous narrative. So I think you should take that photo down. She said, I cannot take the photo down because, my boss. I asked her, who put up the flyer? She said, it's my supervisor. Then we went to speak a very nice gentleman from, so the lady I was speaking to, she's from Ukraine. And of course she was talking about, UNICEF has helped whatnot in Ukraine with war and all that. And I'm like, do you know how the UN is involved in war? Do you know, the UNICEF is helping here, but what is the UN doing? Anyway, so the guy, he's now the superior to her, is a lovely guy from Afghanistan. And so when I started speaking to him, people know. When you start telling people the truth has a spirit. And when you hear the truth, you know. So I asked him, I would like him to take that photo down, that flyer, because I've been told he's the one who's put it up there. He said, I can't do that. I said to him, it's a very harmful photo. It's giving the wrong narrative. Why, when you're talking about malnutrition, do you have an African woman and a child in the photo? Then he said, but there is malnutrition in Africa. I asked him, have you been to Africa? He said, no. I asked him, and do you know where this photo is from, which part of Africa? He said, no. So you don't know where this photo is from, and you are using it to represent malnutrition? Like, how do you know there is malnutrition that represents this photo and you don't even know where the photo is from? So I asked him to put it down, and he was like, I understand what you're talking about. We know all these things. Also, the Ukrainian lady told me they know all these things. But he said that, there is my superior. Then I said to him, but you put up the photo, so you have the power to put it down. He said, he doesn't have that power. I told him that it's better to have an Austrian woman and an Austrian child in that photo, because there is real malnutrition here. Women are suffering from iron deficiency. Women are suffering from vitamin D. Actually, not just women, everyone is suffering from vitamin D deficiency. We are talking about malnutrition. Malnutrition is the deficiency of nutrition or malfunctioning of nutrition. I told him, I would like you to look at the teeth of the woman that you have here and the teeth of the child that you have here. And I want you to go around looking at the teeth of the people in this Vienna. The teeth of this photo, I went back to take the photo. He said, I cannot do that. I respect that. I did not take the photo. But I told him, walk around, and I'm challenging you, if you're living in Vienna, I would like you to go looking at people's teeth. The development of a lot of people's teeth in this city is problematic. If there are people that are making a lot of money in this Vienna, it is dentists, The formation of teeth, of people's teeth, is catastrophic. And this is coming because of malnutrition. So when we are talking about malnutrition, this is a place that is malnourished. I asked him, how many food stands do we have in this market? He said, actually, I'm still here at the market. If you can see, the market is right there, here. I asked him, how many food stands do you see here of food? We counted 7. I told him, do you want to know how many food stands are in a market in Africa? Let's not even talk about a market, just a random street. Do you want to know how many food stands are in a random street in Africa? Okay, let's not even talk about a random street where people are living. Just drive on a highway in Africa, a highway. I asked him, if you drive in this Austria, how much food are you going to see in the streets? How much food are you going to see? Here, I'm standing in a street. There is not even a single person, maybe that one guy. If this was an African street, there would be food stands, people selling food everywhere. And you're talking to me about malnutrition and lack of food in Africa? The place that has lack of food is here. And UNICEF needs to put up a photo of an Austrian woman here in Vienna in their photos and an Austrian child, because these malnourished women here in Austria, women are giving birth to children that are also malnourished, you know. When we talk about mental development, just down the road here in this street, there is an institution for children that have lower mental development, you know. So many these things are happening here. But no, UNICEF wants to go and paint the picture to Austrians that they are okay and the problem is far off somewhere where they don't know, you know, creating a very harmful illusion. This, when you have an illusion of Africa is where there is malnutrition, then it gives people permission to go and dump their crap in Africa. As I walk around here as an African person, and there is an image of poverty and malnutrition of an African woman, that is a profile that is being put on me, you know. So I told them to put it down. And this guy said, oh, no, this one, my boss, I said to him, just put it down. He said, give me time. I went, did a bit of shopping, went around, went back. He called me, told me he has called the office. They've put it down. He's taken my number. I've told him where I normally stand. And I told him, I'm so proud of what we've done right now. You say we don't have power, but look at that. We just put down a UNICEF flyer. Having said that, this is wild garlic and wild garlic. Wild garlic is this one. This is the one that is not wild. So have a nice day, and I just want to tell you, you have the power to make a change. If there's something you don't like, you see that is happening and is propagating a wrong narrative, you have the power to ask them to put it.